Hi folks, it's Aquifil again, and now I'm gonna do a preview for WWE Extreme Rules, which will be held on Sunday. And well, although I wasn't a big fan of Payback, mostly because of the booking, not because of the in-ring work, I'm still hyped for Extreme Rules, simply because looking at the card, if there's no bullshit booking, it should be a great pay-per-view. And well, I'm gonna give you a rundown of the card. The first match, or possibly the pre-show match, will be an ODQ match between Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Well, at Payback, I wasn't too happy that Dolph Ziggler won. Although I'm a huge fan of Dolph Ziggler, I always loved his in-ring work, I always loved his persona, and I was always mad that he wasn't pushed the way I think and many internet fans or smart marks think he deserves. But against Baron Corbin, a new guy who came up from NXT to the main roster and is supposed to be a brutal, dominant heel that crushes everything in his path. And damn, he is a powerhouse, and his end of days finisher is quite cool. Yeah, he lost. And yeah, I really think they shouldn't let him lose against Dolph Ziggler again, because a guy who loses mostly all of his who loses most of the time, and especially loses most of his important matches, but wins against the new guy who's supposed to be a dominant heel and make an impact on the main roster. Well, obviously that's not the best booking choice. And in order for Baron Corbin to not be dead in the water right from the start, after winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, Baron Corbin needs to win here. And as it's an ODQ match, I think it won't last that long. It shouldn't last that long. Baron Corbin needs to go in there and crush Dolph Ziggler. Sure, one or two hope spots or hope sequences where he has a short comeback, but in the end, Baron Corbin needs to crush Dolph Ziggler here in order to, maintain his status or show that he's a dominant, brutal heel. The match itself, well, as I said, I think it's going to be short. It needs to be short. Won't be pretty. But damn, the most important thing is that Baron Corbin doesn't come off as a loser right from the start. He needs this win. Moving on to the WWE Tag Team title match between the New Day and the Vaudevillains. And yeah, we all know at Payback there was the big #1 contender tournament final. And yeah, we all know what happened 4 minutes into the match. Enzo Amore got injured. And yeah, well, nobody except the writers and booking staff, and of course it's the McMahon family, know who was supposed to win this thing. Well, probably the locker room too, but who cares? I think Big Cass and Enzo were supposed to win, just because the New Day versus Big Enzo and Cass would be Big Enzo. I'm really confused today. Always in the German review I was talking about Big Enzo too. Big Cass and Enzo Amore versus the New Day. Two teams that are so over. It's just there's no way that cannot be magic. Even if in the ring they would both screw up, still it would be some kind of magic. Well. Oh, so who wins this one here? My money is on the New Day, not because the Vaudevillains are not good enough, but in the end I think if the Vaudevillains won here and they faced Big Cass and Enzo, yeah, that would be nice too. In the ring it might even be better than a potential New Day Big Cass Enzo match, but yeah, the atmosphere would be better with the other pairing. Still, this match, the Vaudevillains versus the New Day, should be good. The Vaudevillains are very, very versatile in the ring. They are interesting to watch, entertaining to watch. They know what they do. And yeah, well, Big E and Kofi Kingston, I doubt Xavier Woods will be in the ring. So he has to play Francesca too outside of the ring. With these 4 guys, it should be a good match. Not great, but good. Decent tag team action the WWE desperately needs right now. Anyway, the WWE United States title match between Kalisto and Rusev. Well, I get why the WWE wants to put some focus and spotlight on Kalisto, because for Latin America they need a luchador. Obviously, every focus group needs their hero, and Alberto Del Rio is popular in Mexico and Latin America, but yeah, well, he's not exactly a hero. Being involved with the League of Nations, honestly, who thought of that crappy gimmick? Anyway, Alberto Del Rio certainly is no hero for the Latin American world, especially as he's a full-blown heel. Kalisto, on the other hand, well, he works or should work for this focus group, and well, I just don't see him giving prestige back to the United States title. Not because he's bad in the ring. I really like his work, although in the Indies he was a little bit more crisp and didn't screw up as much as he does in WWE. Still, in order for the United States title to gain some prestige back, you need more matches with a more important big-time atmosphere. Or more important feeling. And with Kalisto, unless they build him up as the new Rey Mysterio Jr., which I hope they don't do, because he's better than, oh, I'm an underdog, nobody thinks I can win, oh, I won. The routine was old when it was done with Rey. It stunk when it was done with Rey. Please don't do it with Kalisto. For me, it would kill the character completely. And well, with an opponent such as Rusev, yeah, there are only 2 ways to go. Either Kalisto wins in an rather upsetting kind of way, like, oh yeah, Rusev storms into the corner, knocks himself out, and Kalisto rolls him up. Yeah, that would be bad booking and yawn. So my money is on Rusev here. I think he's going to win this thing. And if Rusev wins and is the new champion, possibly if a guy such as Cena, doesn't necessarily have to be John Cena. There are a lot of guys that soon will come back from injury. Okay. Imagine if Randy Orton versus Rusev, well, it's not a dream match per se, but it would be fresh and definitely would get the title some prestige back. So Rusev should win here, because everything else, I just don't see how Kalisto can beat Rusev in a way that appears, authentic. If it's booking bullshit or, typical fantasy style booking, it works, but that's not what we need. So Rusev really should get the title here. Well, the IC title Fatal 4-Way match. That's one of the matches I'm looking most forward to, not because I like The Miz. I fucking hate The Miz. He's a good talker, but in the ring, well, he's as green as you can be after, I don't know how long, 7, 8 years, 9 years. He should be better in the ring by now, but he isn't. So, he needs to lose the title here to either Cesaro, Kevin Owens, or Sami Zayn. It's not a coincidence that 3 of my favorite wrestlers are wrestling with a guy who possibly is one of my most hated superstars. Wow. WWE knows who I hate and who I like. Anyway, Cesaro, Owens and Zayn will make sure this is going to be a good match or even a great match, and even The Miz cannot stink that one up because the three other guys are experienced in fatal four ways. They are experienced in every aspect of wrestling. So I mean, the number of classics Cesaro, Owens and Zayn had in the indies in WWE, well, you need a lot of hands to count that. They should really... What the fuck? They should really make this one great. And best thing is, it's unpredictable, and whether Cesaro wins, Owens wins, or Zayn wins, I can't complain. And hopefully after The Miz is out of the picture, the three can feud for the title. And I would almost say that Kevin Owens should win here, because Cesaro and Zayn chasing after the title and chasing after Owens would make for a potentially good storyline, and definitely for a lot of good matches. In the end, maybe even Cesaro wins or Zayn. I don't really care, as long as The Miz doesn't win, because the other three guys, they shouldn't help The Miz show some good, or help The Miz get some good matches on his curriculum vitae. They really should work with guys who are as talented as they are. Anyway, the match should be great. I don't see how, except maybe bullshit booking with the finish, but otherwise I don't see any way that match could be worse than great. Well, maybe even maybe if they give them 9 minutes, but no. Let's not go there. The next one is the Asylum match between Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose. Yeah, the first time ever Asylum match. It's like Raven's Rules for Raven, just with the Asylum for the inmate running wild Dean Ambrose. And the Asylum match, in the end, it's just a cage match with weapons, as far as I understood it. And, well, there's the WWE version of the Lethal Lockdown for you. I know that was mean, because TNA sucks right now. Anyway, Jericho, Ambrose at Payback, they disappointed me. Not because the in-ring action was bad per se, but it was long and rather boring. The work they did in the ring, technically, that wasn't bad, but in the end I was a little bit bored because it dragged it dragged along the match. So, or the match dragged along. This time around, the stipulation should benefit Dean Ambrose, because he's always a little bit better he's always better if he doesn't have to play by all the rules. And Chris Jericho, well, he's been in his share of Attitude Era kind of matches, so I don't really know all the stipulations. I hope that you can only win by pinfall or submission, because this whole escaping from the cage thing, it bothers me with normal cage matches. I mean, come on, the whole drama with the door, when was it done in a really convincing way? I mean, okay, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at SummerSlam 1994, that worked, but in most of the other matches, oh, big spot, I'm standing here, I could go through the door. Oh, somehow I screwed up, damn it. Or, I could go through the door. Let's climb over the cage, because that's faster. I fucking hate these escape rules. They're just silly, and in my opinion, they totally contradict what a cage match is about. It's about locking two guys in. No one can escape. They have to beat the shit out of each other, and they have to show who's the better man. With the escape rules, well, that's out of the question, because you have to escape. It's just dumb. Hopefully here, only pinfall or submission. Hopefully WWE sees, a cage match with only pinfall and submissions. Oh, that works. And do it with normal cage matches. But I don't think they will. They won't give me the satisfaction. So still, this one should be good, and yeah, hopefully lots of hardcore action, lots of intensity, and yeah, in the end, maybe even a new stipulation that Dean Ambrose can pull out of his pocket every time he has a more vicious feud. So, well, we'll see how it goes. I think it will be interesting, and of course Dean Ambrose needs to win here because I don't see Chris Jericho staying that much longer. At Payback, I said he lacked the passion he once had for the wrestling business, and I think, he still loves the wrestling business, but I think he really loves his metal band Fozzy more. And he should put his focus on Fozzy because, let's face it, he's not getting any younger. And WWE doesn't need 40 plus superstars who were great in the Attitude Era to, get attention and pops. Now they need to push the younger guys and focus on the younger guys. Well, the next one is the WWE Women's Title Submission match between Charlotte and Natalya. And I'm really looking forward to that one. First of all, because Charlotte and Natalya, even if the match at Payback wasn't great, they never disappointed me thus far against each other. And a submission match is a nice stipulation because it can go one of two ways. First of all, you have the submission style match that's basically in the direction of an I Quit match. Like, I'll beat the shit out of you until you have to submit in my hold. That's one way to go. And the way we haven't seen as much thus far, the technical submission match. At least we haven't seen that in the WWE. I mean, at Royal Rumble 1999, the Garvin Valentine match, I think it was Garvin Valentine, that one surprised me. Was a nice submission match, focused more on the technical side of it. And of course, Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart at the Survivor Series. We all remember the drama. Hopefully it goes into that direction. That Charlotte and Natalya will, go the technical way, and they sure have the technical prowess to do so. If they do, should be really nice. And it doesn't hurt if they mix one or two of the hardcore ingredients into it, because that would really show that WWE doesn't make a huge difference between men and women anymore, because, hardcore women's matches, real hardcore women's matches, we haven't seen so many of them. In the end, Natalya needs to win here, because otherwise it would just be plain silly. Putting her into a feud with Charlotte, having her lose 3 matches, no. And finally, the cat wants to be an internet star. Okay. Finally, we have the WWE World Heavyweight Title Extreme Rules match between Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. And first of all, let me say this: on the Bleacher Report website, someone wrote, "It's surprising how good the chemistry between those two is." Well, at the Royal Rumble, we saw them in the ring, and we saw they had chemistry. They have chemistry, and you could see that back then. Anyway, the build-up, it wasn't flawless, but still the build-up is good. And Roman Reigns starts to get some more positive reactions as of late, and it's really interesting to see where this one goes. Only thing, for example, yesterday at Raw, the promo was a little bit lackluster. It was like, I'm gonna win. That's too standard. That's too random. But in the end, this one is going to be exciting. First of all, the Extreme Rules stipulation benefits Roman Reigns, as the Asylum stipulation benefits Dean Ambrose, because you don't need to be the man of 1,000 holes in an Extreme Rules match. You grab a stick, a candlestick, and smash it over your opponent's head. You throw him through tables, you hit him with chairs. Roman Reigns can do that, and it doesn't matter if he's not capable of showing more than his 5 moves of doom, or WWE doesn't want him to show more. He certainly has a lot to work with in an Extreme Rules match. And yeah, even at Payback, the match was good. The finish wasn't to my liking, but I think Styles and Reigns will put on a good to really great match here. The stipulation benefits the whole scenario, and well, there's also the possibility. Well, it's obvious that Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows are going to interfere. The Usos will too. There's also the possibility of some turns here, because AJ Styles and Roman Reigns aren't clear-cut faces, but they aren't clear-cut heels. And I wouldn't even describe them as tweeners. They are all in the mix right now. It's like WWE says, well, let's just do this shit and let's see what sticks. And yeah, as long as Styles is not a clear-cut heel, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson are not exactly the best partners or the best guys to have on your side, because if they are not clear-cut heels, I don't know. They're bad guys. They're really bad guys. Maybe they turn on Styles towards Reigns or not. And, well, could happen here. Alone the possibility of that happening makes this match more interesting. But, well, we don't know what happens after the next NXT event. Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. Balor lost his title, wants to regain it. He won't do that. And then he will move up to the main roster, I think. And possibly his old Bullet Club buddies, he'll team up with them. Or not. Or he will face them. But where I'm going with this is Roman Reigns will win here. He needs to win here, because with Finn Balor moving on to the main roster soon, well, who is the best opponent for him? Of course, AJ Styles, because of the history they had with the Bullet Club. Well, for those who don't watch New Japan, Finn Balor, back then known as Prince Devitt, was the leader of the Bullet Club until AJ Styles arrived. Then AJ Styles was the leader. Until he decided to go to WWE and was finished off by Kenny Omega, who's the new leader. But, well, that would make for an interesting match and great matches. It would make for great matches. So, and they won't be for the title, because Finn Balor coming up from NXT and immediately going after the title. No, I think Roman Reigns will retain the title here, and I'm not even mad. I just hope they really do something with Roman's character, that he is more interesting. Even more, or way more interesting than he is now. If they do that, awesome. Still needs to work on his in-ring skills, but no problem. Anyway, Extreme Rules 2016 promises to be a very good pay-per-view. There are only 2 matches I think have the possibility of being stinkers. First of all, the United States match, because Kalisto Rusev, I see Rusev beating the shit out of Kalisto, and yeah, if there's some bullshit booking, Kalisto suddenly pulls off the win. That could be rather meh. And the no DQ match between Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. If this is basically a squash match, of course it's not a good match. And if it drags on too long, it might hurt the story. And I don't know. These two matches have the possibility of being stinkers. The rest should be good to great. So I always say that. I know. In the ring, not much can go wrong here in terms of quality. The booking. The booking is the point where WWE really needs to stay on its toes here. Because if they don't stay on the toes, they have, again, bullshit booking and ruin an otherwise good to great pay-per-view. So, hopefully you'll tune in next time. I'm not even sure what I'll do next time. Possibly the reviews for... or the review for Extreme Rules. Possibly I'm going to talk something I've decided for myself. I want to talk about some of the promotions out there, not only WWE and New Japan, whom I follow regularly, but about the other promotions. But, well, we'll see that. And, well, hopefully you found my preview interesting, and tune in next time. So long.